This is a video for unboxing the Bugera um, Infinium V22 amplifier. It says here that it is a 2-channel tube combo with Infinium tube life multiplier, original turbo sound speaker, and reverb. It also says there's a full color gift box inside. That's why I'm doing a video, because I have no idea what that means other than there should be an amp in here. But a full color gift box inside is pretty unexpected. All right. So I'm going to start this and then I'll explain what's going on. So I bought this because, number one, I need a replacement for this Marshall over there. Don't laugh. There is a purpose to that little guy. It's cheap. It has close to a Marshall sound, which is good. It has served me well when I pair it with the Fender Hot Rod Deluxe. So when I'm recording, I'll run those two together and mix them. It sounds really nice, but that Marshall got weird. So I have no effects dialed in. However, you might be playing and then all of a sudden the flanger turns on or the phaser turns on. So had to be replaced. The other reason I got this, the price, let's be honest. So I have a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe, which I've had for a very long time, which I love. I put cooler tubes in the preamp section, like a 12 AT7, which smoothed it out nicely, and I just love that amp. When I was researching this Bugera, as you'll see, the controls are almost identical to that Hot Rod Deluxe. What's up, little guy? That's a 40-watt tube amp, loud as hell. This is a 22-watt tube amp, which from the other videos that I've seen is loud as hell. So I figured it'd be a nice pair. Obviously, they're going to sound different. So here's the box here. So you got to go down, Fibonacci. My assumption, the full color gift box is this. So it's a box within a box. Another thing to consider, which I thought was nice, is that let's say you're into fitness and you've been working out and you've been lifting weights and you're curious, can I lift 55 pounds? Well, on the box, it says it's 55 pounds. So you can use this setup as a good indicator as how strong you are and if your weight training has been paying off. So yeah, that's bonus. All right. So you, Moo, have to go. This is where it gets interesting. What I'm going to do is lay this guy down and just bring it out that way. 55 pounds, folks. I don't like that there's a hole here, but what do you expect? Okay. So I believe this is what the full color, all right, now the cats make it heavy. This is what the full color gift box means. I was hoping for maybe something made of metal, like a little tiny amp, you know, mock-up or, you know, model would be kind of cool. All right, guys, you have to go. Ooh, this isn't good. That cardboard is also ripped. All right, let's just keep going. So I ordered this at Guitar Center. I watched a bunch of videos on it. A lot of people that know probably more about guitars, yeah, and amps than I do, really fell in love with this amp. Again, it has the stigma of being, there we go, a Music Tribe product, which isn't the top of anyone's list. Well, I mean, look, I have a Behringer dual phase. I have a couple other Behringer items. I mean, they're not bad. It's just the reputation is not as good. But look, man, 12 AX7s are 12 AX7s. EL34s are EL34s. Speakers are speakers, you know, to an extent, right? There's flavor, there's color. But when you're talking about components, I mean, let's not get silly. So for the replacement, before I decided on this, I was looking at a JCM 800 combo, another hot rod. But again, I wanted something slightly different. So yeah, I could have paid $1,500 for a Marshall combo and been totally happy and got exactly what I wanted. But let's face it, what I just said, I mean, we'll find out. But based on the reviews that I've seen, this is impressive. So, you know, obviously I'm going to try it out. If it absolutely sucks, I'm returning it. But let's take a chance. So having these corners makes me less nervous about that. Actually, let's see if that hit there. There's a little dent where that rip in the cardboard is. So let's stay hopeful. All right, so we got that. All right, we got that. I don't know. Okay, here we go. I've heard that this amp is super heavy. It's not super heavy. If you want to feel a super heavy combo, lift up a Hot Rod Deluxe, or worse yet, a Twin Reverb. That's what you're talking heavy. All right. So power cord, which is nice. You know, it's not integrated. It's not like a transformer where it's like a little, like something you use on a pedal. So obviously there's some power requirements for this amp, which is good. I mean, come on, you're still powering 22 tube watts, so you've got to have a legitimate power supply. I mean, so that's that. I don't need to get into that. So, I mean, this handle's pretty sweet. Really thick leather, leathery covering. All right, so I will notice, okay, you see there is some damage here, which corresponds to these switches here, which hit that foam, which went through 2 layers of cardboard, so that sucks. All right. I'll just keep that turned around. All right. So that's that. And then for camera's sake, I mean, that feels good. I'm not too worried about it. I mean, that feels good. I'm not going to play this on this video. I'm going to hook it up as is, put it next to the hot rod, see how they do, just volume-wise, tone-wise, and whatnot. I'll record it using my standard recording setup. I'll mic it up with a 57 on the hot rod. I'll put a 57 on here, run them through my interface into Logic, have them balanced side by side, same exact settings, and just see how they sound. I've heard the clean channel is really brilliant. I'm not impressed. I never use Fender distortion, especially on that. It's just way too clean. It doesn't have the inherent compression that, say, a Marshall has, which is why I wanted to replace that and stay within that realm. So with that said, again, the reviews that I've seen, this boost channel or distortion channel or high gain channel sounds really good as well. You know, you can only tell so much from other YouTube videos or any videos in general, because you don't know what their audio signal chain is and if you're getting a true representation of the amp. But that, you know, if this video turns out, because I mean, this is one of my first ones, so we'll see. But if this turns out, then I really would like to put those side by side, record them, and give you a good, not raw, but good representation of the audio of this, because I am looking forward to it. But yeah, we'll keep talking. I mean, everything feels good. I mean, these switches feel really good. Good resistance. These inputs are tight. I've seen different people have different colors of jewels on their LED. I don't know why I did that, but like in the fenders of, I guess, a certain generation, there's a bulb that goes in here, but this is a LED. I don't, whatever. A light's a light. Okay, so taped. Well, get a bag of silica. Taped in the back. Okay, taped and stapled in the back is the foot switch, which I am probably not going to use because just like I don't use the fender foot switch, again, I don't like the drive channel on at least that fender. I mean, there's might be a use for it. It's just with me, I don't like it. Cat in the box. So this is the foot switch. It's in a cardboard. It was not going anywhere because it was stapled to a tiny knife. And I still don't know if you should say Bugera. Maybe it's like Italian for booger. I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know if Bugera was their own company before being part of Music Tribe. I don't know, man. I used to be a gear snob, but it's not a money issue. It's really just what's practical, what really makes sense as far as not so much craftsmanship, because so 12 years ago you could find a video about this amp 12 years ago or more than 5, and there were quality issues. Made me a little nervous, but again, if this thing craps out, I bought the extended warranty, I'm returning it. So yeah, I mean, you could spend $1,000 for, let's say, identical components, and just you're paying for craftsmanship, which I think is totally worth it. Or you could spend $1,000 for something like this, and pay for higher end components and less craftsmanship. I mean, there's going to be a trade-off somewhere. Or you could spend $2,000 and get the best of both: ultimate craftsmanship, ultimate components. But like speaker wire, okay, it's copper wire. Copper's copper. Electrons don't care. Same thing within the guts of the amp. Yes, I'm not to the point where a PCB is going to steer me away from a product. It's just not me. So, I mean, this is heavy though. It's a metal casing. What I do notice, again, some of the videos I've seen before were over 10 years old. And one of the things they showed on this pedal was a very bright blue LED, which I'm not a fan of. Like, somebody was complaining that if this was on stage, the LED would blind them, which, I mean, they're bright. But this one has red and green, so yeah, not too bad. So it does switch your channels and turns your reverb on and off, which I think could be useful. Again, based on your musical style, this could be exactly what you're looking for. Not for me. When I turn on reverb, it's usually on all the time performance-wise. When I'm recording, of course, you got tracks, you got punching in. So when you need a track or a guitar track with a reverb, you turn it on and record it that way. And for tracks that you don't use reverb. So, but yeah, it looks like it has probably at least a 10-foot cord, which is plenty long. Like I said, this is metal. It's heavy. That's always good. So, yeah, so far not bad. All right. Also, in the Music Tribe family, what's that logo? There's that turbo sound speaker. Yeah, this guy. So apparently the turbo sound speaker line is really good. A lot of people like it. So yeah, I've never used one. I've used, Celestion, Fender, Jensen. All right, so the back. Oh, okay, that's kind of heavy for one hand. It's pretty standard open back combo. Got your speaker, 8 ohms. This is cool. Send and return. I mean, that's awesome. So again, these controls, inputs and outputs, are fairly identical to the Fender Hot Rod Deluxe, which is cool. I mean, you definitely use those. This is cool. You can switch, I believe, 4 to 8, which is nice. Yeah. Multiple speakers. switch your ohms, which is cool. This going from Pinto to Triode, the videos I've seen makes a huge volume difference, which is really cool. So you can really heat up your tubes. I need to do a little bit of research on switching modes, but I believe in Triode they get hotter, which means they're driven harder, which means you get a little bit more distortion, which is great. And switching back and forth mid play, I've heard makes a big difference. You'll probably see these in other videos, but I'll just mention it because the Infinium brand, it lets you know when your tubes are going bad, which is cool. I've also seen or heard that when you swap out a tube that's gone bad, it'll auto bias, which is crazy. So again, not that I hope I never get there, but I'm not used to biasing tubes. I've never biased my other tube amps. It's a preference, to be honest with you. It may wear them out faster, but it also affects the sound in a way that may be pleasing. So, do your thing. Other than that, it's pretty awesome. So far, it's what you would expect out of a tube amp. It doesn't look like there's any weird like features or weirdness going on. I can't see the tubes, which I'm not used to. They're in a cage here, which is fine. You can certainly remove this cage. Let me just see. Yeah, looks like there's 1, 2, probably 4. Yeah, 4 screws holding that in. So if you want, you could probably take that cage off and get to your tubes easier. As you know, with Marshalls have a cage on the head, but like a Fender, they're open. It's no big deal. Yeah, the knobs feel good. I'm not a fan of the color scheme. I'm just not a gold person. The knobs feel good, nice and smooth, and then have that right amount of resistance. You get some knobs on anything, a guitar, an amp, and they're just too easy to turn. I don't like that. These, you put them where you want them, and they just really stay. So, they feel good, in other words. The switches are very robust, I would say. They have a good firm travel and firm click. Again, you've seen toggle switches or had them where they're loose, or maybe they just wear out, but these feel good. I'm gonna see if I can take the jewel off, like on a Fender. Maybe I'll try it later. I think different amps, the same amp in the same line have different jewels. I got orange, whatever. Yeah, nothing goes to 11. These are plastic. Fender has these too, where the actual jack, instead of being that curved metal, or like in a guitar mostly, and it may just be like what's wired to it, but that's all metal, and I like that. But there's probably so many other wires incorporated into this that it needs to be like that plastic cartridge type situation, which is fine, whatever. Yeah, the switches are good. So, that's really about it. I don't know what these little weird like spots are. It seems like whatever damage was on the box was not enough to damage these. But again, I bought the Pro coverage from Guitar Center, so if anything's going on, I'll swap it out. That's on there good. It's not like there's a bunch of glue hanging out, like you can barely get your fingernail into there. It's gold. It's cursive. It's fine. I've seen other videos where guys totally replace this. They'll strip off this. It looks good. It feels good, like pleather. And go with like all black, or like completely remove the logo or stuff like that. Some people complain about the turbo sound logo. I don't know, man. I'm not crazy. The corners are metal. That's good. That's real good. Actually, I'm not a fan of plastic ones. I've never seen a plastic corner protector survive very long. Yeah, Handle's nice. It's really, I'd say that's leather. Big metal brackets. Yeah, I think it's cool. So that's it. Let me grab the full color gift box. I guess just in case you can't wait to, or you're holding on to the box and you just want to see the amp because you're like wondering what's in the box. Like, what does it look like? Well, there you go. It's full color. I mean, yeah, you know, it gives you the stuff, stats, features, functions. I'll be honest, I don't know what 22 watts push-pull means, but I'll look into it. Built-in reverb, obviously. Yeah, so 3 12AX7s, 2 EL84s. Yeah, nice. So maybe I'll do another video where I get into it and play it, record it, put it up against the hot rod. Just see how it works, man. All right. Thank you, guys. Almost forgot. There's a manual. So we got all the amp models, I guess, in this Infinium line. All these are Infiniums, V55, V22 heads, and then V55, V22 combos. So we have, let's see, what's the front? Well, English, French, Deutsch, and a cat on the tripod, and Portuguese. You know, don't lift with your legs, lift with your back. Don't violate the FCC. How to hook up a guitar. Where to put the foot switch. How to hook up, look at that, how to hook up Behringer pedals. So, yep. Has the vintage distortion listed, which, funny enough, I do have one of those. Just trying to see the other one, like a tuner. Probably a reverb or something. Anyway, yeah, so, and that's cool too. You know, it shows you, obviously, you can use a combo with an external speaker cabinet. I've seen videos on that, and it looks like it works out pretty well. Like, it really opens up the sound. Plus, you'll have, you know, the turbo sound combo speaker going at the same time as any other speaker cabinet you have. You know, Celestions, Jensen's, Fenders, speakers, whatever in your cabinet. I've seen good results with that, actually, or heard good results. Yeah, switching ohms, and then we start again in Spanish. So again, English, Espanol, Francais, Deutsch, and Portuguese, which I'm not even going to go there with. So that's cool. Nice impedance guide. So when you're different combinations, what impedance to use, because you know that can really be bad when you don't have the impedance right for the speakers that you're using, if they're wired in series or parallel, things like that. That's cool too. It shows you how to incorporate an effects loop, which is good. You know, your send and return. Not everybody knows that. Me, I'm this guy right here where I go through guitar to pedals to amp. That's been my go-to for forever. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks, guys.